games that can help help your students get to different skills. And then we're going to be talking about the content in each one, and feel free to ask questions as we go. Okay, so as I said,
I have a quick question. When it
Yes.
says Wi-Fi access, which
Arte
network?
prep.
Which one?
Arte prep.
yes,
Oh, Arte
this
prep.
one, the third one, yeah.
Thank you.
Same password. Okay, so when I started teaching, as you probably understood, computer was not a thing that we use, definitely not for more than just a piece of paper presentation. Today, when people are talking about teaching, they definitely include the technology as an integral part of it. So this is showing you that you need to know the content, whatever it is that you're teaching, history, English, whatever, and then you need to have some different methods, and the technology is another content that is supposed to go into it, and all together will define the quality of your teaching and your students' learning. And this slide is going to show you the difference between like activities that we do in class with the students without the technology, and then how to use technology in different levels of engagement until you get redefining the activity itself. So if you look at the technology, you can present something instead of on a paper over here, and it's not going to make much of a difference. But if you go slowly from one column to the other, you're going to see how the activity itself is changing in the way that the technology is supporting it. So what is gamification? Basically, we're talking about taking ideas and different concepts from the games industry and bringing them into activities that the kids don't want to do, which is learning the content and working hard, right? They think of games as something fun, and they think of the classroom as something boring. We want to bring the excitement and the fun into the content area, and by that helping them learn it without feeling like they're working hard, doing something that they less liking to do. So what are the goals? For me, I have 3 goals usually. I want them to be using Hebrew for most of the class time. I want a lot of students to participate at the same time, and I want them to have fun. So these are the goals. And how can bringing a game to the class help me reach these goals? Obviously, as far as the participants before that, it would be me talking to a student, and then a student talking to a student, and then 2 students are talking to me, and it was just basically one-on-one or one-on-2. And when I will introduce you the games that I'm using, you will see how everyone can use it at the same time. So everybody can speak, everybody can listen, everybody can play, and gain the vocabulary and the grammar. So that's number 1. The second goal is to have fun. Definitely you're going to see how fun and exciting it can be. And then they are being engaged with the target language. When they are being presented with the game, they are using Hebrew in all the time. So I reached my goals. So now that we're convinced to create a game for the class, what do we need to know? So there is a questionnaire here, and you're going to have this slideshow. And the questionnaire is basically taking you through a list of types of mistakes that students can be doing, and you can modify it obviously to your subjects. And then if you know that your students are really weak at a certain area, you can build your game around that area. So this is just a list of different mistakes that I came up when I got their written exams. I started to see, oh, they have mistakes in the grammar. They don't know how to conjugate. So I'm going to create a game about conjugation of present tense of a certain group of verbs. Or if they made a mistake with vocabulary, they were really weak on vocabulary. I asked them, how old are you? And they said, this is a hard-boiled egg. And I said, okay, they don't know the words. They don't understand what's written. I should work on vocabulary. So let's build a game around that. So once they fill out the questionnaire, we go around, and if everybody clicked that they had a mistake in a certain area, once this once this Excel spreadsheet is being generated, I can see that everybody has a mistake on field number 2, which was whatever, and then I can build on it. If it's just one student who have an issue, I can go and approach this student and say, listen, you have mistakes. Usually your mistakes are about the prepositions. Let's really explore and see what caused you to have them and how we can prevent them next time. Okay, so now we're going into the games. Obviously, the first game, the easiest one to use is a crossword puzzle. This is really helpful with spelling. It's a great way not to embarrass them by when they copy from the board, and they have one column with English, one column in Hebrew, and I walk around and make sure that they actually copy the definition from the board accurately. And sure enough, I can see that they are switching some letters around and getting a lot of mistakes. So when they do it in a crossword puzzle, and usually they would hide their paper, they don't want their neighbor to see how they're writing it, and that way they are playing the game and they're like, oh, they don't look at it as a mistake anymore, they look at it as something as part of the game, and so they're more open to write things down when it's a game format rather than just a chart. So this is a definition in Hebrew. Obviously you can do it in whatever language you want, and all the links are hot links. Once you will click on it, it will take you to the website that generates the crossword puzzle. It's very easy to create it, because all you need is the list of the Quizlet. Are we all familiar with Quizlet? Yeah, so you just go, you copy and paste. You copy it from the Quizlet, you come to this website, you stack it in, and you tell it how many boxes you want. You want it to be 20 on 20, 15 on 15. It really doesn't matter. It will give you a few options. You can print it out with the answers, without the answers. You can write the definition in one language and the answers in another. So you have so many options, and it's also doing the not just the crossword, but the I forgot what it's called, with scramble letters or the
word search.
Word search. It does that too. I'm less oriented this way, but if you want, since you print out a paper, you may consider to print one side of crossword puzzle and the other side with the word search, and that way the students can have their preference. I feel like I don't do that, and it's a shame.
The kids like word search.
They love it.
Yeah, when I taught middle school, they would, oh, great, a word search. It's
I
not my
think-
thing either, but they
Yeah,
like
so
it.
so there you go. It's a paper that's being printed anyway. Why not utilize both sides? And then they can. Another really easy website, again, hot link. All you have to do is, again, the same idea. You take the Quizlet and you plug it in, and it creates a bingo one for you. Now here, I like to do it like the original version, which is like, I would say the term in English. They will have to look if they have it in Hebrew, and sometimes I would see that they cross out a word that is not what I said in English, and I would ask them, so what does it mean in Hebrew? And then they would realize, oh, I don't know it, and I make them write it on the side. Another way to play this game is with each other, like small groups if you have a big class. Another way would be to make them write sentences once they have, one kind of if they have a bingo, if they did all 3 or all 4 across, they can write sentences with it, or create a question or what's not. But it's generating the bingo. I would warn you that you need, I think, at least 30 terms to make it a substantial game. Less than 30 would be kind of awkward. It will repeat itself way too many times. We have a software at school, it's called Smart Notebook. If you have a smart board, chances are the school has purchased it for you. If not, it's less than $100 per year for the school, so it's definitely reachable. And the platform, the Smart Notebook, what it does, it allows you to have all kind of games. And I think I'll show you at the end all of the options, but this is one of them. So basically, I tried to tell them that if you're stuck and you don't have the word, the way in languages that it works, you should go around it and use other words to describe what you want. So here they have the definition, over there they have they have the term, over there they have the definition. Their job is to make them match, just to put them together inside of the beehive, and they can go on again and again. And this is a nice way to show them that they don't have to stick to the term I've taught them today. They can go back to previous knowledge and take it from there and use it. So